Well, good evening, basketball fans, and welcome here to beautiful Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Indeed, it's game day 2 of the BCL Asia East Asia. And of course, we're live here currently at the Maba Stadium as the NS Matrix D as our host will be taking on Bishrelt Metal. Well, the BCL Asia East, of course, did commence yesterday. The NS Matrix Diz played their first game against Chinese Taipei's Taoyuan Paoyuan Pilots, in which we saw possibly one of the most exciting games in the calendar year of 2025. Well, that game did go to double overtime, in which the Taoyuan Pilots only left with a 3-point victory. But tonight could be a different story. Of course, our visitors, Bishrelt Metal, the runners-up of the Mongolian Basketball League, also known as the League. Well, the other game going on will take place on Thursday as the defending champions of the Indonesian Basketball League, Pelita Jaya, will be in town to take on NS Matrix Diz. Well, Taoyuan's victory does see them currently take top spot. It's only a 3-point slender win for them at the moment. But remember, BCL Asia East, 8 teams across 2 groups will compete in a total of 5 windows, 24 games to find out who will make it to the Final Four, in which the 2 finalists will then go on to qualify for the 2025 BCL Asia. Well, what an atmosphere we had here last night. These fans witnessed possibly, as I mentioned, one of the greatest games of the year. I mean, where to begin? Of course, the likes of one John Murray did come off the bench. He had 11 points at halftime. Came off the bench at the beginning. But then again, he didn't come into the second half until midway through the fourth quarter, in which he nailed down 5 threes across that time until the double OT. But his team, unfortunately, just were unable to come up with the victory. Well, this Bishrelt Metal team, of course, featuring some very tough players. Well, the likes of number 3, Ahmad Bayaskalan. Of course, some players who have been a part of the Mongolian national team setup. But their import players, the likes of number 22, Devin Scott, and 25, Byron Wesley. Well, they do have a very experienced coaching staff, coached by the great Evangelos Tsepelis, the Greek national. So Bishrelt Metal, as I mentioned, last season in only the 8th year of professional basketball in Mongolia, finished in 2nd place in the league as it's known. Well, what a chance for these players to really, as the national team have done so as well. Remember, the national team had to go through the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers in order to get to the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup pre-qualifiers to the qualifiers, excuse me. But as the national team, this is the chance for them to put Mongolian basketball on the map. Well, now indeed, we'll introduce the home team key players. Well, it was a very exciting matchup here last night because everybody had a part to play, no doubt about it. But I think the key thing you got to remember is that not only did the import players step up big time, but also some of the domestic players. Well, this team was, as mentioned, 28 points from John Murray, 17 coming from Toluwalupe Obasa. But it was one Hung Yi Tong, number 77, who was the man who hit the 3-pointer in the first regulation of overtime that sent it to a double OT. Well, I don't know if you've been following, but make sure you follow BCL Asia on all social media platforms of X, Instagram, and Facebook. Because let me tell you, number 11, Wong Yi Ho, who was very quiet in this first half for NS Matrix Diz, he had an instrumental fourth quarter, which in my mind helped them come back from down by as many as 19 points. Well, the big question today for NS Matrix Diz is going to be how healthy will Marquez Lecha be. He did go down with an injury, unfortunately, in yesterday's game, but we're going to find out just how effective his play is going to be here tonight. Well, the players and coaches now will shake hands with each other, pay each other respect, but indeed it's that time where we must introduce 4 very important people for tonight's game, and those are 3 referees and 1 technical delegate commissioner. Well, they're the 3 referees tonight. We have, of course, from Korea, we have Kyung Hwan Lee. From India, we have Rakesh Ramalingaya, and from Bahrain, we have Mohammed Hassan Al-Salam. Our technical delegate for tonight's game, as it was yesterday, the great Mark David Solano, and a big thank you, and we must pay respect and homage to our referees. They've done a magnificent job in all of our competitions, right from FIBA International Games to here in BCL Asia East. Well, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups. It's interesting with Coach Felton Seeley. It's almost like he wants to bring his best player off the bench, and I think that's a good thing to do because what that enables your domestic players is to build that confidence going into the starting lineup. But I wonder, will we see John Wesley Murray, number 3, that man? He was three-point dynamite yesterday. He led all scoring with 28 points, as mentioned, but it was a three-point cooking show that he put on in the fourth quarter. Well, there he is, the head coach, the man who was drafted into the NBA in 1981 by the Phoenix Suns, a very successful career as a player at the University of Oregon, and really made a name for himself as a coach when he came to East Asia, starting in Thailand. Well, Coach Evangelos Tsepelis, of course, a man who has his experience within the Greek Basketball League. And, what you've got to love about Mongolian basketball, it is on the rise. Because the national team, unfortunately, were unable to qualify for the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup, but definitely they are showing potential, showing promise, no doubt about it. Well, it's a magnificent moment for both these two clubs, representing countries that, it's fair to say they're on the rise in terms of their basketball prowess. And that's been the whole global plan of FIBA, to spread the game, make sure that every country has a platform to build on. And in the case of both Malaysia and Mongolia, well, now they have the BCL Asia East. Remember, as I said, 2 groups, 8 teams, 5 windows. The final window, of course, the 6th one will be the Final Four, in which we'll get the 2 finalists that will then go on to qualify for the 2025 BCL Asia. NS Matrix Diz, they made it last season. We saw them as it was hosted in the City of Gold in Dubai. And as I mentioned yesterday in the game against Taoyuan Payan Pilots, they almost made history, defeating the defending champions of the Chinese Basketball Association, the Liaoning Flying Leopards. Well, this home crowd here in the Mava Stadium, no doubt about it, these Malaysian basketball fans, but there you can see the fans who have made the long journey from Ulaanbaatar, the capital city of Mongolia, where Bishrelt Metal do play their games. Well, they would have been disappointed, no doubt, like the home crowd, because Bishrelt Metal, as I mentioned, 2024 runners-up in the league, the professional league of Mongolia. Well, the NS Matrix Diz, those fans, they put on a hell of an atmosphere here last night. I mean, there was not an empty seat in this arena here at the Mava Stadium, and they felt they probably could have won that game. And that just goes to show, because Taoyuan Payan Pilots, well, here we'll take a look at the starting lineups. Well, Devin Scott will be in the starting lineup along with Byron Wesley. Dugard Edna will also play point guard tonight. So that is going to be interesting to see how he goes up against the likes of possibly John Wesley Murray. Well, the backcourt is going to be imperative, and as Coach Feltham Seeley, one thing he's going to say to his players, listen, we put the second-place team of the East Asia Super League under pressure. We forced them to turn the ball over. They are now new to the BCL. BCL Asia. We've been here. We've gone there. Let's do the same to the newcomers yet again. Well, Marquez Lecha will be in the starting lineup here tonight for the NS Matrix Diz, so it'll be interesting to see how he copes from going down. Of course, Obasa will be the center tonight, because he had an imperative game last night on both ends of the floor. But of course, right now is history for Mongolian basketball, because Bishrelt Metal now become the first ever Mongolian team to ever compete in an international continental basketball competition. No other Mongolian team has ever done so yet. Well, it's a great time here, as mentioned, for all the teams competing here in the BCL Asia East. But it's going to be an absolute electrifying atmosphere, no doubt about it. Well, NS Matrix Diz, they'll want to counter back from their disappointing defeat. And as I said before we got to the starting lineups, they took on the finalists of the East Asia Super League. And that just goes to show the competition that we have here. And this is only the BCL Asia East. We still have time until we get to the final tournament, where you're going to see the Riyadis, potentially the Gorgans, the champions of the B-League, champions of the KBL and the CBA, and not to mention the PBA. Well, this competition, of course, is a feeder into the final competition, but it used to be known as the FIBA Asia Champions Cup. It took a little bit of a break, but it's back, it's bigger, it's better, and now it is indeed the BCL Asia East. Let's get this one underway. Well, it will be Ennis Matrix Tears who had the first possession. Marquez Leche going to the bucket, and no problem. Well, went down with an injury yesterday, but he's looking better than ever. Well, that's going to be a problem now for Bishrelt Metal. They've got to make sure defensively they take a lot more accountability. Marquez Leche, one of those versatile players. If he's got it by a smaller player, he'll take them in the paint. But in this case, if he's got it by a bigger player, well, he's got no problems going to the perimeter. Three-point play converted by Marquez Leche. Bishrelt Metal now trying to get into a half-court set. Easing to the tempo is going to be the key thing here for the visitors. Already getting things going very early on. Well, nice play in the end by Byron Wesley. He's going to be their go-to player today, no doubt about it. Bishrelt Metal coming up with a steal. Wesley now looking to attack. Kicks this one out, mid-range is up. That's not going to fall. Now Leche with a rebound. But nobody running here with Marquez Leche. Decides to go himself, and he's got to kick it out. Well, another perimeter shot goes with an offensive rebound. And as Matrix Tears go in, they draw another foul, so 2 more free throws coming up. Well, Marquez Leche, one of the key players yesterday, as I mentioned, the only player right now that has experience in playing in the BCL on 2 continents. Did also play in the BCL Americas. Well, may have a line injury. Well, the free throw's good, so it's going to be a 2-point slender lead here in the first minute to the Ennis Matrix Tears. Wesley coming off one screen, now being heavily defended. Well, now we're in the 10 on the shot clock. He's got to make something happen. Now going for the ISO. Simply too much to handle. Well, if it's going to be ISO mode every time with Wesley for Bishrelt Metal, this is going to be a long game for the visitors. They've got to make sure everybody gets involved. And there's a baseline penetration, draws a foul. Now, question is, I think that's on the ground, so it's going to be a baseline ball now to Ennis Matrix Tears. Well, change coming into the game is at the moment, Dugar Erdene Sanbayar will sub in for the first time. Maybe he's just actually catching up. He may have gone down with an injury, actually. Shot clock now to 14 seconds. Baseline ball coming up here for the Ennis Matrix Tears. Of course, the win is going to be so imperative for the home team. Remember, Thursday, they're going to be taking on Palitha Giant, but good defense. Bishrelt Metal, that time number 99. Dugada Dene Sambayad. Well, he does effective there because he fights around the screen. Now, he's got a tough job. He's got to keep up with Obasa. And Obasa's going to be relentless, no doubt about it. Leche. That's going to be a traveling violation. So a costly turnover now for the Ennis Matrix Tears. But one thing they need to realize, this is not going to be a walk in the park, because every new team comes in with a lot of hunger, especially when they're making history, becoming the first ever team to feature in a tournament like this. Sideline ball coming up here for Bishrelt Metal. Wesley gives this one up. Now finds Devin Scott. Time winding down here. He's got to make a choice. Has an open runway. Goes in. Gets rejected. And again, Obasa with the block. And they convert the turnover into fast break points. But it all starts with Toluwalupe Obasa. Well, he had a few big blocks in the beginning of the game against Taoyuan Pilots yesterday. And that's the big reason Coach Felton Seeley signed him on the team, to be that solid rim protector. Bishrelt Metal sinking that one down. Ahmad Bayaskalan. And that's his first field goal. And that's not a bad mid-range for him to take. Chun Hong Ting now finds it open. Goes in. Fangerol can't finish. Bishrelt Metal come up with it. Scott now goes in the paint. Pump fakes. Draws a foul. Goes in, but he does get the out one. But he'll go to the free throw line. That's a good balance right now here in the Bishrelt Metal. You got Wesley on the perimeter. Devin Scott now here in the paints. Well, Devin Scott, originally from Columbus, Ohio, started at Dayton University. Because he had a very extensive career, which he started back in 2016. Now, prior to coming to Bishrelt Metal, he actually played for Flamengo, which many international fans will know with their soccer/football team. Also played in the Philippine Basketball Association with the San Miguel Beermen. So gives Bishrelt Metal a slender 2-point lead. Chun Hong Ting, no to go at the moment. Finds Obasa. This is good crash defense by the Metal. And again, they go down low to Devin Scott. Well, it's a nice post entry, but I think that's going to be a trap. No, foul's going to be called. Well, I felt a traveling violation was going to be given at first, but well, maybe he has it. Let's have a look at the replay. I think a foul, yeah. So that's definitely on the ground. So Dugada Erdene Sambayad, number 99, will not be going to the free throw line. Well, it's a worrying sign because they can't afford any injuries. Remember, they do have to play on Thursday. Whenever teams host one of these 5 windows in the BCL Asia East, they'll have to play a total of 3 games, while the visitors will only play 1. Kotsepolis doesn't want to, go home, especially on a historic day here for Mongolian basketball. There's the block by Obasa. Obasa's house. No one's welcome. Well, 15 seconds here on the shot clock. Actually 14, they've reset it to 14. So baseline ball here to Bishrelt Metal. Wesley waited for the ball screen. Gives this one up. Metal go for a 3. This one's up. Beautifully iced away. And the visitors making history is Ahmad Bayaskalan getting his first field goal. That's the second one, actually. Now he's got 5 points. But now Lecha, mid-range no good. And this Matrix Diaz get a wide open 3. They're fouled in the process, so, or no, it's off the ball. I think the foul's going to be called against Dugada Dene Sambayar. That's only the second team foul, though, against, what's the last team foul here against Bishrelt Metal. I thought the foul was on the 3-pointer initially, but I think to the right, it's away. So 6:10 to go here in the first quarter. Obasa getting handoff. Diaz going for another 3, and that one's way off the mark. Well, this team, they're a confident shooting team. When they make 1 3-pointer, that's when they start to build their confidence. But Wang Yiho, who yesterday was very instrumental in the fourth quarter against the Taoyuan Pilots. Wesley finding Scott. Still got it by Obasa. Scott down the middle, goes in, avoids the block. It's simply too much to handle. Well, that's going to be an isolation mismatch for Bishrelt Metal. 7-point lead currently to the visitors. Ong Wei Yong goes in, finishes with the tough defense. Well, you may ask the question at times, do NS Matrix Deers, we saw yesterday, taking a total of over 43-point field goals. They've got to be able to mix it up here in their offense. Wesley finds an opening. Goes up against the defense. Can't finish. NS Matrix Deers come up with a rebound. Obasa, one more pass. Beautiful basketball. And now NS Matrix Deers go on a 4-0 run. Well, that ball didn't even touch the ground. Well, Wesley left wide open. He'll fire a three. Just can't finish. And this Matrix Deers now riding on a wave of momentum. Down by 3. This will tie the game up. That's not a bad shot to take, but only Obasa going in for the offensive rebound. You kind of get the feeling whoever wins the second chance battle today could very well be the winner. But now Scott goes to the mid-range. Letcher secures the big board. Obasa now trying to match up in the paint, draws another foul, and now he'll go to the free throw line for the second time. Well, that's good work by NS Matrix Deers, putting Devin Scott under pressure. Now Tolupe Obasa will go to the free throw line here for 2. Well, here were the questions I was asking NS Matrix Deers throughout the game until we got to the fourth quarter. I feel like they're a better basketball team, and I think Coach Felton Seeley may identify this as well, because whenever they get a post touch with Toluwalupe Obasa, their offense is a little bit more balanced. You can see already with the presence that he has in the paint, they've already drawn 5 fouls here against Bishrelt Metal. So 4-17, any more fouls to give, NS Matrix Deers will go to the free throw line. Both free throws converted, 1-point deficit, a 6-0 run currently by the NS Matrix Deers. Well, he's one of the most experienced coaches here in international basketball. One thing he is very good at is getting his players to buy into his philosophy, the hard work, the tough as nails. 6-0 on the shot clock. Wesley isos, goes in the paint, get too tough to handle. No help side defense is going to stop that man. Byron Wesley extending their lead back to 3 points. Now NS Matrix Deers, John Wesley Murray into the game. Murray goes to the mid-range, straight off the bench, ice cold in the veins, as he did from the three-point line in the fourth quarter. He's coming to the game slightly later as Byron Wesley goes, and now he'll go to the free throw line. That's a great move by Byron Wesley, because in that case, all you do is just put NS Matrix Deers post-interior defense under pressure. Well, Byron Wesley, originally from Monterey, California, started his university career at the University of Southern California, played his final season, indeed, at Gonzaga. Started his pro career in the NBA G League, then his first career internationally was actually in Finland when he played for Kataja. And interesting about Byron Wesley, also has experience. He played in the first ever BCL, and that was in Europe for Kataja back in 2016. Well, that's another turnover. Bishrelt Metal leading by 2 points. Wesley goes in, Euro step, can't finish. But good transition defense by the Matrix. Well, goes to the pump fake, and in the end, that foul's still going to be called on the ground. Well, normal foul, nothing to it. Just a pump fake. In that case, Hector Zurich Batar just unfortunately jumps over him. Not quite sure that Wang Yiho quite realized what just hit him in the head. Well, the foul's called on the ground, but because Bishrelt Metal have put NS Matrix Diz into the penalty, it's going to be free throws. Well, Wang Yiho, Jem, was a big X factor for this team. He's got to be the same tonight. Because a very, I like to call him the 3 stretch forward at the moment now for NS Matrix Diz. Well, free throws tying the game up now into 3 minutes. Because the neutral fan watching tonight here on FIBA's official YouTube platform would love to see this go right down to the wire, as we did yesterday between the NS Matrix Diz and Taoyuan Pilots. Scott now tough fadeaway, going like Dirk Nowitzki, and he beats the dying seconds. Well, left wide open. Another 3 goes missing for NS Matrix Diz. We're going to see a lot of 3-point shots tonight, but we're yet to see one at the moment now from John Wesley Murray. But Wesley will fire one, sinking the second 3-pointer now for Bishrelt Metal, and giving them yet again a 5-point lead. Well, Bishrelt Metal, you can see here face-guarding John Wesley Murray, understanding the threat he poses offensively. Now coming up with the rebounds. We're under 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Well, we're live here at the Maba Stadium here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The first window, first of 5 until we get to the Final Four of the BCL Asia East. 8 teams, 24 games, but only 2 of them will qualify for the 2025 BCL Asia. Well, Wesley's had a good game so far, really posing a threat in the backcourt at the moment here for the Bishrelt Metal, the runners-up of the Mongolian Basketball League. Now Scott here in the paint. Dishes off. Well, they're going to go for the third 3. This one's up. No good. The rebound has been secured. Well, Chin Jin Yen is subbed into the game now for the first time here for the Matrix Diz. Lecha spins around. Nice pass. Goes in. Oh, gotta finish it. Well, the move was great. The pass was exquisite. But now here comes Scott. Goes in. Gets rejected. Second block here in the first quarter at the moment for NS Matrix Diz. Foul has been committed, so 2 free throws coming up in the moment now for John Wesley Murray. Well, this time Marquez Lecha. Well, what's the saying? Not in my house. Well, Murray was the leading scorer yesterday, 28 points. Almost got them the victory, a little short on the second one. Cutting it down to a 4-point deficit. Bishrelt Metal potentially could have two offenses now here in the final minute. As Isaiah now playing point guard here for the Metal. Nice backdoor play, goes in, finishes, and now makes it a 6-point lead. Well, that potentially could be a 2-for-1. Metal could end the first quarter leading by 8 or 9. They got to get a stop here. Well, dude, they can't quite force the turnover. Final seconds. Murray, fadeaway. Can't get it. Metal come up with it. Well, now they're going to have an open layup, and now indeed it's going to be an 8-point lead to the team from Mongolia. Final shot here in the first quarter. NS Matrix Diz will want to give this, put the ball in the hands of that guy, John Wesley Murray. 5 3-pointers yesterday. Murray now looking for an ISO. Goes for tough fadeaway, goes in. Nothing but net. And Bishrelt Metal have a little bit of time here. Well, they get it off in time. The three is up, and now won't do it. But at the end of the first quarter, it is indeed the team making history, becoming the first ever team from Mongolia to compete in a FIBA Continental Club competition. Bishrelt Metal, who lead by 6 points against our hosts. The NS Matrix Deers will live here at the Maba Stadium in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The first window of the 2025 BCL Asia East. Well, we're going to take a look at some of the key stats here from the first quarter, and then we'll run back the best moments of the first quarter. Well, the one thing that has separated these two teams has been the three-point shooting. Bishrelt Metal, at the moment, well, they are just making life a little bit difficult. 0 for 7 so far for the NS Matrix Deers, but the one positive note for the Deers, they have converted 7 out of 9 free throws, which is a big improvement from yesterday. The Matrix Deers winning the rebound count, but Bishrelt Metal do have more offensive boards and 3 more assists for that matter. We'll take a look at the highlights very shortly. Well, here's where Bishrelt Metal's been very good. It's finding the balance in their offense. Devin Scott inside the paint. Well, Byron Wesley, of course, on the perimeter. And again, if you are watching live, remember, make sure to get all the best news, content, and highlights that matter to you most. Follow BCL Asia on all social media platforms. Follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Well, for a team who's making history right now, they are playing with very much a composed nature. You can see, as I mentioned already, the offense, they play within themselves, Bishrelt Metal. Scott now in the paint. Goes in, too big, too strong, but he's unable to finish. Well, that time the collapse defense much better there from the NS Matrix Deers. But now down by 6. What can they build here? Well, it's not a bad offense, but again, you've only, at that point, number 35, Chin Jin Yan, contesting for the offensive rebound. Remember, Bishrelt Metal, 1 more offensive board in the first quarter than the NS Matrix Deers. Now Byron Wesley penetrates, goes in with a little floater, and that's not going to fall either. John Wesley Graham now pushing this one. Murray down low, finds Letcher. He can't finish either. Well, neither team scoring here in the first minute of the second quarter. Well, they see the foul. It goes out of bounds, actually. No foul called. It's now number 77, Hung Yi Tong, who's only just checked in here in the second quarter. Crucial player in overtime yesterday for the NS Matrix Deers. And now the foul's going to be called. Well, it was actually Bishrelt Metal who got into the penalty, or put NS Matrix Deers into the penalty quite early in the first quarter. But now Bishrelt Metal drawing the first foul against NS Matrix Deers. Still both teams looking for those first 2 points here in the second quarter. Wesley goes baseline. Now kicks this one out, goes for 3, and make that three-pointer number 3 at the moment for Bishrelt Metal, extending their lead to 9 points. Well, as I mentioned, the first time ever a Mongolian team has ever played on the road in a FIBA Continental competition, and now they lead by 9. As Murray draws the foul, and that's going to be the first team foul against Bishrelt Metal here in the second quarter, so I believe that's going to be a sideline ball. Back screen set. Yitong comes up with it. Now fires a deep three with a high arc. Still can't finish. Offensive rebound. And that's what the NS Matrix didn't need. And that's what he demands. And that's how he used to play when he was at the University of Oregon. Simply tough as nails. Well, backdoor play finishes. B-E-A. Beautiful finish by Byron Wesley. Well, the defense just got caught napping. Murray kicks out. Bit of contact, no foul called. Goes out of bounds. Bishrelt Metal get this back. Well, NS Matrix Diaz felt a deflection came, but I'd have to see the replay to come to that judgment. But the referees, I think, are now going to go to the monitor just to double check this one. Or has the head coach's challenge been called? That's what I want to know. Well, I think, yeah, Coach Felton Seeley is called for a head coach's challenge. So they're going to go and review this to find out if a deflection was made in order to see if a change of decision needs to be made. Well, that's the first angle. Here's the jump shot. Now, was there... It's tough to see from that angle. Very tough. I mean, his arm does come across, but you'd have to see from another angle to be more definitive, I guess. But let's see if we can see better from here. Here's the penetration. So Murray penetrates, kicks out. Now watch here. Does Batuyag Azaya get a hand to this? Well, I'd say, what? That's a tough one. I'd say there's definitely a hand to it. We're going to find out what the officials are going to decide here. So successful head coach's challenge. So NS Matrix Diaz will regain the ball at 12 here on the shot clock. 7:47 to go in the second quarter. Game day 2 of the 2025 BCL Asia East. But currently the NS Matrix Diaz, our host, live here at the Maba Stadium in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. A down by 9 points against Bishrelt Metal. But in the end, comes to a turnover, and that's not a good offense. I think Marquez Lecha just caught that at a very awkward angle. So now Bishrelt Metal will have a golden opportunity here to have a double-digit lead. Any bucket will put them above 10 points. Azaya being heavily defended by Hung Yi Tong. Great matchup between two very good point guards. Scott now looks to penetrate. Goes in, reverse slam, and again, going like Hakeem the Dream. I don't even think he was looking at the bucket on that play. Well, what a finish by Devin Scott, giving them an 11-point cushion. Well, foul has been called. Well, you like what they've done there with that offense. Number 1, Wong Kai-Chek, also known as John Wong. They try to isolate him at the free throw line extended because he's being defended by the much smaller point guard Azaya. So change coming now in for the NS Matrix is subbing into the game, number 17, Lee Jin Hung. Played very minimal minutes yesterday. There's also Wong Kai-Chek, also subs out of the game. The telling of him is Da Wei Young, who was in the starting lineup earlier. Murray now defended by Wesley. Finds separation mid-range, and again, this guy's jump shot is simply, it's unstoppable. Mid-range, 3 points. I mean, he's a certified walking bucket. Well, for them to win, he's got to, duplicate the same performance he had yesterday. Scott was open. Now they get the ball to it. Spins around, goes in, avoids the block, and again, you talk about unstoppable. Devin Scott, the machine at the moment. Well, that's one thing you don't want to do, give John Wesley Murray room, but he's unable to hit the three. And this Matrix still haven't made a three-pointer here in the game. Just under 6.5 to go here in the second quarter. Oh, Bishrelt Meadow hit 3 threes, but not going to get that one to go. Matrix down by 11. Looking to cut it to single digits. There's a kick out. Well, the entry pass is too predictable. And now Wesley will go in. He'll throw it down with the reverse dunk. And now he gives them the biggest lead of the game of 13 points. 5:54 to go here in the second quarter. Coach Felton Seeley calls timeout. His team, right now, they need to find their identity. And transition defense, that no doubt is going to be a part of the talk. Well, nice reverse dunk by Byron Wesley. At the moment, he is having a game of games along with Devin Scott. Both players currently leading all scorers. Well, then this Matrix is, if you think about the current Super or Major League Basketball in Malaysia, the domestic league they play in, they actually didn't win. They lost in the playoffs, but they have been the dominant team in this league. And right now they're being tested. I mean, Mongolian basketball, the professional league, really came into its name back in 2017 because it has gone through a few name changes. Now it's known as the league. But the last 2 years, Bishrelt Meadow have been runners-ups. It goes to show the potential for Mongolian basketball. We've already seen that with the national team at the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're live here at the Maba Stadium here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. BCL Asia East matchup between our hosts, the NS Matrix Deers, and the visitors from Mongolia, Bishrelt Meadow. Well, 2 groups, 8 teams, 5 windows, and then we'll go to a Final Four to decide 2 of the finalists that will head on to the 2025 BCL Asia. 3 goes flying, just rattles out, but the offensive rebound by Obasa. And that's what they need from the big fella tonight. Well, who's going to win the offensive rebound count? That is also going to be crucial between these 2 teams. NS Matrix is, they lost yesterday here in the opening game against Taoyuan Pilots. Well, good defense by Obasa. And now here comes NS Matrix Diaz. Little floater may go on a 4-0 run as Lee Jin Hung. Another assist coming from Obasa as he cut it down to 9 points. Well, a foul has been drawn. That's going to be the second team foul against NS Matrix Diz. And this one's against Lee Jin Hung, number 17. Well, he's seen his team. I mean, one thing you've got to applaud his plays. Defensively, they can be relentless. I mean, many would have assumed Taoyuan Pilots would have come in yesterday and really made easy work of NS Matrix Diz, but that wasn't the case. This is the BCL Asia East. Top teams in top domestic leagues competing for the position to go into the final tournament. Six here on the shot clock. Bishrelt Meadow got to make something happen. Amad Bayascalan now makes a penetration and he finishes under intense pressure. Well, he's had a good game so far. 7 points tonight. Amad Bayascalan came off the bench at the moment now here for Bishrelt Meadow. Murray looking for an ISO. Goes in. Can't too strong off the backboard. Fighting for the offensive board. Obasa comes up with it and just gets that one to rattle in. And it's those second chance points NS Matrix is they've got to fight for. Well, there's the original miss. Scott tries to grab it, but he's caught between 2 players. And Obasa comes up with the practically gift wrap, but as mentioned, those points, they are so crucial. And for both teams, for that matter. Well, Coach Evangelos Sepelis, the Greek national, understanding the importance of having a Mongolian team here in the BCL Asia East. Right now it's about dreaming. And why not now? Why not Bishrelt medal? Why not why can't they qualify? Dreams will be made. Scott makes the pass, reverse layup. Oh, baby! What a move by Batsurik. But it all starts with Devin Scott. Well, Scott drew the defense. Well, nice spin out. Finds Murray. Wide open. He's got to make this one. Throws up. And again, you knew it was going to be inevitable. As that cuts it down to 8 points. And a much better offense by the Ennis Matrix Deers. Well, he's cash money when left wide open. The one play you just cannot invite to take a three-pointer. Well, Wesley goes for a tough one. Long two-pointer. Scott gets the offensive board. Bishrelt Metal firing another three, but again not folding. Obasa this time secures the board. And this Matrix Deers plenty of time to tie this game up here in the first half, but one more. Again, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. And that goes over the backboard, and that will be an out-of-bounds violation. But with 2:57 to go, as we saw yesterday, Ennis Matrix is very well capable of making a comeback. But one target they've got to ensure is that this remains within single digits. Coach Evangelos Sepelius will now call timeout. He'll talk it over with his players. They lead by 8 points. Game day 2 of the BCL Asia East. Well, this group is going to be a very exciting one because not only do we have Ennis Matrix Deers and Bishrelt Metal, we currently have Talu and Palian Pilots. But on Thursday, well, we're going to see the defending champions. Well, look at that move right there. And that indeed is number 6. I mean, look at the dime here. Finding number 6, Supat Batsurig with the reverse layup. Are you kidding me? What a play. I think Coach Sabelis, what he's identified, and probably what he's addressed to his players in this timeout is, listen, we're getting good looks in the three-point line. We're not making them at the moment. But one area that we have a strength is Devin Scott inside the paint. And the good thing about Devin Scott, number 22 for Bishrelt Metal, not only is he an effective scorer, but he's also a great passing big man. So 2:58 to go here in the first half. Second quarter of play. Well, Wesley caught a double team. He's got to pass out of it. There's now Amar Bayaskalan. Been one of their key players. Final seconds are in the shot clock. Got to take this one. Goes in with a teardrop. Can't beat the shot. Well, he beats the shot clock, but he can't finish. As Ennis Matrix Deers again look to chip into the deficit. John Wesley Murray keeps in his right hand, goes, and that is simply unbelievable. John Wesley Murray kept that in his right hand. As now he cuts it down potentially to a 3-possession game. Well, Wesley turns it over, and this is what we talked about, the defense by Ennis Matrix Deers. Well, Murray 3 in transition, can't get it. Well, he's got the green light to take those kind of shots, but it goes out of bounds. As Bishrelt Metal will retain possession with 1:52 to go here in the second quarter.
Substitution, Ennis Matrix Deers.
Well, Ennis Matrix Deers now putting on a bit of full court pressure. Bishrelt Metal patiently breaking it down. Again, looking to extend the lead here with Devin Scott. Scott bumps, goes in, and that's what we talked about. This man, you've got to give him the ball every time. Nobody can defend him. Well, he's become the ISO mode at the moment here for the team from Mongolia. 19 points already here in the game for Byron Scott. Well, Byron Wesley, Devin Scott at the moment has 10. Tip goes in. Is that an and one? Yes, it is. And Obasa now will go back to the free throw line for the third time this evening. No second chance points. That's what it's all about here at the moment. Guadalupe Obasa. Clearly see how important he is to this team. Well, this free throw can't cut it down to a 5-point deficit. Of course, the family right now enjoying the occasion live here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia at the Maba Stadium. As Obasa's been much better from the free throw line tonight than he was yesterday. Of course, 9 missed free throws for the NS Matrix Steelers. Now post center, Obasa kicks out. Another 3 coming. 3 is up. 3 is good. And that cuts it down to a 2-point ball game. When the NS Matrix Steelers were trailing by as many as 13, now they find themselves back in it. Bishrelt Metal firing another one. That made that 3-pointer number 4 here for the Metal. As it goes back up by 5. Well, that 3-pointer potentially could be a 2-for-1 for NS Matrix, or for the Bishrelt Metal, Obasa goes in, can't finish. Well, Wesley just keeps this one under control. But again, finishing out of control there is now. Well, you know the ball is going in the hands of one player, and that indeed is going to be John Wesley Murray. Final seconds now. There's the penetration. Murray catches, puts up a Hail Mary 3, and that's not going to go. And at the end of the first half, Bishrelt Metal lead by 5 points here in game day 2 of the BCL Asia East. Well, it's been an exciting game. Bishrelt Metal becoming the first ever team from Mongolia to ever play an away game in a FIBA Continental Club competition, making history today. Well, they have a 5-point slender lead. So now we're going to run you through the key stats here from this game, and then we'll review the best moments of the first half. But what a game it's been here in the moments. Well, if you are watching this game live here on FIBA's official YouTube platform, make sure you hit that like button on the live stream, and also subscribe to FIBA here on YouTube. And make sure you follow BCL Asia on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow BCL Asia on all social media platforms to get all the best news, highlights, and stats that matter to you most. Well, it's been a terrific game so far. The 3-point shooting hasn't been terrific at the moment between these two teams. But again, we have seen a very good defensive intensity from the NS Matrix Steelers. Welcome back, basketball fans watching live on FIBA's YouTube official platform. This is the BCL Asia East, and we're live here in beautiful Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia at the Maba Stadium. Game day 2, as currently our host, NX Matrix Diaz, who lost in double overtime yesterday against Tao Yuan Paoyan Pilots, are currently trailing by 5 points to the very first ever team from Mongolia to play an away game in a continental FIBA competition. Well, Bishrelt Metal, currently coached by Evangelo Tsepelis, the former Ike Betson assistant coach. That's right, he was an assistant coach in BCL in Europe for the Great Greek Giants, but at the moment he's now leading the way for a team here in Mongolia, the runners-up of the Mongolian Basketball League. Well, statistically, if you look at this game, 28 bench points have indeed come from Bishrelt Metal. I mean, they have been very versatile to say the least, but only 4 fast break points. The biggest lead they've had in the game has been 13, and 7 of their 45 points have come from turnovers, but one worrying sign here for the visitors, only 2 second chance points. Well, the one positive note here for NS Matrix is they do have 22 points with inside the rainbow, but again, considering how good they were from the three-point line yesterday, they've only converted 2 out of 16 three-pointers. That is something that they need to change if they want to make sure they don't lose 2 games in a row. Well, we'd like to welcome all of our live viewers to all of our viewers watching in Mongolia. Sembenu, Sembatsanu, Bayaklar, Zugir. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get this one back underway. Well, NS Matrix Diaz having the first possession. Almost turning it over to John Wesley Murray. So far, one of only 2 players, Ali and Obasa. Well, connects with it now. 11 points. He's 4 rebounds away from a double-double. He's got to have a big game tonight. He's got to be big here in the second half if they're going to come up victorious. They can't just rely on John Wesley Murray. Metal still lead by 3. It's back up to 5. Uncontested. From the mid-range, beautifully iced away. Wants that man again. It's Ahmad Bayaskalan. Well, another missed attempt goes to the Matrix. Metal trying to push this. Well, find Scott now. He has 21 points. And already, 19 in the first half. It just goes to show what a dominant player he's going to be. And I tell you what, I think one KJ McDaniels from Indonesia's Pelita Jaya is watching this, knowing that's going to be a matchup for him. As there you can see John Wesley Murray getting inside the key. Well, Pelita Jaya will be here on Thursday night. The defending champions of the Indonesian Basketball League. They will take on NS Matrix Deer. Byron Wesley. 1 of 2 players to be in double figures here at the moment for Bishrelt Metal. Well, they made 4 threes in the first half. Unable to get this one. This ball falling in the hands of Tolowalupe Obasa. Matrix down by 5. I don't know what happened there, but Ong Wei Yong still keeps the live finds. Obasu misses. Well, that is the defensive presence of Devin Scott, which does make it quite tough, but that's going to be another missed attempt if NS Matrix is. Well, Marquez Lecha back into the game. Of course, he's 1 for 4 from the field at the moment, but you have to take into consideration he did go down late at the end of last night's game with an injury. So the fact that he's still playing at the moment, the day after, is very impressive to say the least. Well, so it's going to be a turnover. Or fouls me. I don't know what's happened here. Ong Wei Yong, something happened, I guess. The home crowd not impressed. Let's have a look at the replay. That's a push-up. Yeah, I mean, it's a foul, no doubt about it, but I think the situation needs to be sensationalized, that's for sure. That's a good call. But Huyag Azaya getting called for the foul, number 7 for Bishrelt Metal. Lecha goes too strong off the backboard. Metal looking to extend their lead. They've led by as many as 13 points. because they've had a lot of fruition coming from the bench. Everyone knows they got two superstar players in Byron Wesley and Devin Scott, but you got to give credit to the domestic players. They've been great tonight as well. There's a kick out. There's another three. They beat the shot clock, and the bank is open. Zugir. Bayaklar, as they say back in Mongolia. Well, you are welcome. Zugir, baby. 8-point lead. Oh, another three in the corner. One more. Zugir. Back-to-back three-pointers. This time, it's Sukhbat Batsurig. The man who made the reverse layup in the first half now putting them back up by double digits. 11-point lead to Bishrelt Metal. As Ennis Matrix Diz only now 2 for 17 here from the three-point line. Oh, heavy defense coming at the moment from Ong Wei Yong. Well, that attempt doesn't go, but nobody contesting for an offensive rebound for Bishrelt Metal. Now we're into 6.5 to go here in the third. Matrix got to play through the fatigue at the moment. Well, no foul called. And in the end, John Wesley Murray. Now, you can see Coach Evangelos Tepelis, and I think the referees are going to have to discuss whether this should be upgraded or not.
Defensive foul between John Murray. First personal foul, first team foul.
Well, they're going to go to the monitor. They're going to have a review of this. Will this be upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul? We'll find out momentarily. Well, it's going to be an interesting decision that's going to be made by the referees. Well, again, we'd like to welcome all of our international viewers currently watching BCL Asia East live on FIBA's official YouTube platform. Of course, to all of our viewers in Mongolia, Saim Batskanu, welcome everybody, hello, and to all of our viewers, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe to FIBA on YouTube. And don't forget, if you want to follow more of your favorite teams on BCL Asia East and BCL Asia, then follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Well, here's a look at the replay. Now watch John Wesley Murray. Now Bat Huyag Isaiah has the ball. Here's the foul. I mean, is that a genuine attempt to go for the ball? It's a tough one to decide, really. Well, it's going to be an interesting decision to say the least, but it's going to be a tough one, no doubt about it. So no upgrade. So this will just remain a regular foul. Bishrelt Metal will retain possession here on the sideline. Well, Murray's going to go to the bench. He's going to take a little bit of a breather because they're going to need him to get a hot hand in this, especially if he does come back in the third, definitely in the fourth quarter, no doubt about it. Wesley now put under heavy pressure. Passes this one out. Isaiah makes a penetration. Nice kick out. Well, somebody's got to take the three. Three is up. Well, that's a good offense. Scott now fighting for the rebound, but in the end, Marquez Lecha secures the board. Well, Junkai now looking for the post entry. Obasa doesn't take many mid-range, but again, if he's going to take that shot, somebody's got to come from the weak side. Somebody's got to contest an offensive board. Metal try another three. This one's up. Well, great job there by Hung Yi-Tong coming up with it. Obasa goes all the way, finishes, and now cuts it down to single digits. Well, he's leading NS Matrix D here at the moment. But Scott down the other end. Bit of contact, goes in, doesn't get the and one. But he'll go back to the free throw line.
Shooting foul number 25, Joseph Omasa. Second personal foul, second team foul. Two shot by number 22, Devin Scott.
Well, Devin Scott has been tough as nails this evening because he's 2 rebounds away from a double-double, now has 16 points. 6 for 10 from the field. Hasn't missed a free throw yet, so this has got to be something NS Matrix is reconsider when fouling him in the paints. Remains perfect from the charity stride. Back to the 11-point lead to Bishrelt medal. Game day 2 of the BCL Asia East. Well, the man who made the 3 to tie the game up in overtime now makes his first 3 of the game, and only the 3rd three-pointer for NS Matrix Diz. Hung Yi Tong, double 7 stepping up there. Scott turns it over. Wong Yi Ho comes up with it. The foul's going to be committed. That's going to be the second team foul against Bishrelt medal. 4:41 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Well, the foul is on Bat Kuyag Azaya. That's not a bad foul to give away because, look, defensively he's making a good attempt to go for the ball. And what it does, it just slows down NS Matrix Diaz transition. Well, sub coming in is Hukbat Batsurig is going to come back into the game. Well, also Enhutor Zurik Batar is also subbed in, number 12 here for the Bishrelt medal. Remember, they had 28 bench points in the first half. This team heavily relies on its rotations. Lecha finds Yong Hee-oh. That's a good attempt from the perimeter, but he's unable to finish. And now a foul is going to be committed. Yeah, it's on Wong Yi-ho. And after missing the three-pointer, he just has a moment of frustration. Well, when you look at the 4 teams in this group, you take these 2 teams, NS Matrix Diaz and Bishrelt medal, along with Taoyuan Palian Pilots. Many would argue the defending champions of Indonesia, Pelita Jaya, they are going to be strong favorites for sure. Well, it's going to be great to see the likes of Andakawa Prastawa, Vincent Kosasi, KJ McDaniels. Another 3 goes flying. Zugir, baby. This team now starting to make it fly. As Ahmad Bayaskalan hitting another 3. That's his second 3 of the game. Another turnover. Now here come Bishrelt medal. Goes all the way. It simply makes it look easy. What a play by Byron Wesley. And it's back to the biggest lead of the game that Bishrelt medal have had at 13 points. And now Coach Felton Seeley calls timeout. His team, defensively, they are showing way too many frailties. Well, what a finish there by Byron Wesley. Goes wrap around the back. Look at this. Oh, gotta love that one. Well, the timeout has been called. We're going to find out what kind of response we're going to get from the NS Matrix Diaz when these 2 teams return. I think you heard the message there from Coach Felton Seeley that timeout. You've got to show me something. And all he's asking for is for his players to create the intrinsic motivation to compete. Because right now, Bishrelt medal terrifyingly are flying with confidence. And they're led by that man, Byron Wesley. Well, Wesley tonight, 21 points, 9 for 15 from the field. He's been simply too much to handle. Now we're into 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Defensively, Bishrelt Meadow not allowing any time or space here. For John Wesley Murray as the rebound goes, but that's going to go back to Bishrelt Meadow. Well, Bishrelt Meadow, he's slenderly just winning the rebound count here tonight against Ennis Matrix Diz. When they're struggling offensively, well, there's a turnover now. Can Ennis Matrix Diz capitalize here? But they turn it over again. Well, Marquez Lecha comes up with it. Foul has been committed, so 3:17 to go. It's going to be free throws coming up here for Marquez Lecha.
Shooting foul number 0, Brett Deutsch, Elden Kupfer. First personal foul, 13 foul. Two shots on the 12, Marquez Lecha Ellis.
Well, Lecha hasn't been as effective this day, not because he's not playing poorly. It's just the fact he is playing through the injury that he sustained, which I believe was to the ankle. Because he left the game, didn't come back. I believe that was in the first regulation of overtime. But you got to credit the man playing through the pain right now, trying to give his team everything he can here at the moment. 12-point deficit. And this Matrix Diz have got to get into single digits. Nice little Euro step goes in, and he's unable to convert. So 21 points at the moment for Byron Wesley. Now looking to add to his tally and pile on more pressure.
Two shots on number 25, Byron Wesley.
Well, Wesley converts both free throws. Now biggest lead of the game here for the Bishrelt Medal. The runners-up of the of the Mongolian Basketball League. Well, it's going to be exciting when they do go up against the defending champions of the IBL, that being Polita Jaya. But Polita Jaya's first opponents will be Ennis Matrix Diz. John Wesley Murray from No Man's Land. He's only made 1-3 tonight, but good fight here at the moment. But in the end, culminates in a turnover. Scott now down the middle. Avoids he gets blocked, and in the end, he's going to go back to the free throw line. Problem for Ennis Matrix Diz, he hasn't missed one tonight from the charity stripe. You feel like the energy, the emotional, psychological fatigue really settling in here in the third quarter. But this is the BCL Asia East. You've got to play through this. Foul's going to be given against Chin Jen Yin, number 35 of the Ennis Matrix Diz. Well, this team needs belief, and it's got to come from within. Because even with a 14-point lead, they would have watched the game closely, knowing that Ennis Matrix Diz made that incredible comeback in the fourth quarter. And no doubt, Polita Jaya will be watching this game. Because their head coach, Evangelos Sepelis, he was an assistant coach in the BCL in Europe back in 2022. So the experience that he's brought not only to Bishrelt Medal, but also to Mongolian basketball. And also remember, DeMarcus Cousins, former NBA superstar and Team USA player, also plays in the Mongolian Basketball League. So it goes to show the talent that Bishrelt Medal has brought to BCL Asia East. Well, Devin Scott's going to leave the game. 16-point lead, biggest margin so far. And I know KJ McDaniels is definitely looking ready for Thursday's game. He's going to be a talent to look out for. Well, nice play in the middle, and again, finishes with Chin Jin Yen. Well, I think Brandon Joato's probably watching, no doubt. He's going to be hungry for Thursday's matchup. Now we're over 2 minutes. There's a crossover. stumbles with it. But again, Bishrelt metal. Wrap around Zugir, baby. What a finish. And what is it down to? Second chance points going in favor to the team that finished second place in the Mongolian Basketball League. Well, when you have your last donut, you got to call box out, because in the end, Hector Zurik Batar goes in, and he's going to the free throw line to try and convert this to a three-point play. $17-point ball game. Metal now looking to try and get another stop. Murray puts up a tough contested three. That's way off the mark. Wesley comes up with it. Wesley goes himself, but he's unable to finish. But you look at that. Not many Ennis Matrix Diaz players getting back on defense. Well, another three by Wesley. One more time. I'll say it again. Zugir, baby. Byron Wesley is unconscious. Well, he has simply become the certified walking bucket. And he is on fire. Well, they've got to find a way to stop him, no doubt about it. And a timeout is going to be called by Coach Felton Seeley. His team, they have another quarter to play after this. But right now, it's deep soul-searching time. Well, it's been a three-point cookout. I'm out by Ascalon. That time finding Wesley and Zugir, baby, as they would say back in Mongolia. Well, now that we're back from the timeout, Byron Wesley, 26 points in total, 10 for 17 from the field. He's hit 3 three-pointers out of 5 collectively. I mean, Bishrelt Metal, they're shooting a 47% from the three-point line. Well, they are cooking at the moment, and they are in total control. But remember, we still have another quarter to play. And remember, yesterday, Ennis Matrix Diaz trailed by as many as 19 points against Taiyuan Payan Pilots. So anything is possible here in the BCL Asia East. Murray now has time and space. That's much better. Now will do his confidence a world of good as he cuts it down to 17-point deficit, And they needed that from him. But they can't just rely on him. They've got to collectively work together to try and free up those high percentage looks. Well, almost turning it over. Lecce can't come up with it. Final seconds. Another deep three, and again, Zugir. Bayakla. Makuyag. Azaya with a deep three, hitting the 9th three-pointer of the game now here for Bishrelt Metal. Everything flying in. And that's going to be another unforced turnover. 20-point lead, 20.5 seconds left. So Bishrelt Metal, the way they're shooting the three-pointer at the moment, you expect them to go for another tray ball. I'd imagine that's what they're going to go for. They'll get the final shot here in the third quarter. They don't want to turn it over. And now Ennis Matrix is. They'll get one last chance here, and they lay this one up. The Bishrelt Metal do have a bit of time now. 5 seconds here. Got to go the length of the floor. Well, they don't get it off in time, but still, it's an 18-point leader at the moment. So the first ever Mongolian basketball team to play an away game in a FIBA continental competition. And if they win today, history would be made for Mongolian basketball. But let me tell you something about Felton Seeley. The way this man coaches, he gets the best from his players. They trailed by as many as 19 yesterday against Taoyuan Pilots, and yet they took it into double overtime. Well, a beautiful sight to see those beautiful Mongolian fans making the long journey all the way here to Malaysia. We're live in Kuala Lumpur at the Maba Stadium. Everybody enjoying the occasion. Well, it's going to be an exciting end here. And the way Bishrelt Meadow are playing, it just goes to show this is what the BCL is all about. It was a plan and vision that was put into place back in 2016, which started in Europe, and after 9 seasons. Well, as I was about to say, after 9 seasons, the BCL has now expanded to the Americas, and now we're in the 2nd season of the BCL Asia. You have to remember, the BCL Asia, the roots start with the former FIBA Asia Champions Cup. And now it's back, it's bigger, it's better. It is indeed the BCL Asia. And at the moment, it starts with the BCL Asia East. 8 teams, 24 games, 5 windows. And we'll finish with a Final Four in which 2 teams will book their tickets to 2025 BCL Asia. Well, here's some of the highlights here from the 3rd quarter, but you got to put it in consideration. 9 3-pointers come from Bishrelt Metal. That is what's put them ahead at the moment. Defensively, they've done their job. They've tried to contain John Wesley Murray as much as possible. And that was his 2nd 3 of the game. But let me tell you, he came off the bench in the 4th quarter, midway, and from then until the double overtime, he had 5 3-pointers. And he's just that kind of player that can turn it on and off when he wants. Well, hello, Sain Batsanu to all of our fans watching live in Mongolia, and welcome to everybody. If you're watching this stream live on FIBA's official YouTube platform, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to FIBA on YouTube. Bishrelt Metal now looking for 3-pointer number 10, but patiently trying to wind the clock down. Wesley's got a hot hand, gives this one up. Again, it looked on target, but another offensive rebound. Devin Scott has just been a force to be reckoned with. Final seconds now for Byron Wesley. Scott's got to shoot this one. Puts up a little float in. The bank is open here at the Maba Stadium. Devin Scott going in with a power driver. Oh, nice little finish, and that's what they need from Marquez Lecce. Again, they cannot afford for the lead to get too big here at the moment. Well, Wesley, no, the 3, that's a little too short. Can Ennis Matrix Diaz make a comeback? Well, down the middle goes in. Counted! Marquez Lecce now going to the free throw line and potentially looking to cut this down to a 15-point deficit. And that's 2 penetrations. Again, the fact that he's able to use his body effectively. And this is what players like Marquez Lecce don't get enough credit. It's how they read the defense. They go in with the shoulder and still have to finish under intense pressure. A couple of players, you'll see them for Palita Jaya on Thursday. Brandon Giawazzo, KJ McDaniels. They'll all be in town. They're all experts in that kind of field, no doubt about it. Well, Bishrelt Metal getting too much time into play Operation Hang On, but they don't want to keep turning over the ball. This is what happened to Taoyuan Pilots last night. The team from Chinese Taipei who play in the Plus League. Many would have thought they were going to come here as the favorites, but I think they've learned very quickly and respectfully they've learned how big the competition is here in the BCL Asia East. Another deep 3 goes flying. It's not going to go. Rebound secured by Wong Kai-Chek. Marquez Lecce going all the way. And this guy simply is taking the game over. Well, Jayo NS Matrix did. Quaidierla, he's going quickly. Straight to the bucket. And single-handedly, he puts this team on a 7-0 run. A timeout call by head coach Evangelos Tepelis. He wants to talk it over. It's now down to a 13-point deficit. Well, we'll return from this timeout shortly. But again, you want to get all the best news, highlights, stats, all the best content, follow BCL Asia on X, Instagram, and Facebook.
Don't stack the ball because this guy comes to you to make trap. Okay. Guys, now. Every time. West. Here. Move that. Move.
Well, since going on that run, they have indeed been led by Marquez Lecce. 12 points tonight. 4 for 6 from the field currently. Of course, he's 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Scott finds Wesley. Can't finish. Good defense. And another chance. It very much looks like yesterday when NS Matrix Diaz made that late comeback. Well, Lecce fires a 3. That's his 3rd attempt tonight, but that's a good look for him. If you're open, you got to take it. The unfortunate thing, he's unable to cut it down to 10 points. Now going in. Again, contesting for offensive rebounds. Scott down the middle, draws another foul. And he'll go to the free throw line. Well, Devin Scott is going to be a tough play to handle for sure. I mean, that point, without Obasa in there, Marquez Lecce, I mean, they're roughly the same height, but the difference with Obasa, he has that length to really be that solid insurance policy, that rim protection for NS Matrix did. Well, 20 points tonight here for Devin Scott. 6 for 6 in the free throw line, and that's his first miss. Well, he has his double-double. He does have 10 rebounds. But everything's got to count at this stage here for Bishrelt Metal. They don't want to concede any more points. Well, they've led by as many as 20. 34 points in the paint. The majority of them have come from Devin Scott. Just gets a second one to rattle in. Well, the other key performer tonight for Bishrelt Metal, indeed, I haven't spoken enough about him, has been the national team player, Amada Bayaskalan. 18 points this evening, and he's also hit 3 3-pointers. Murray turns this over. Scott comes up with it. Finds Wesley. This is good defense. But even better offense by Byron Wesley. Well, the chef is cooking. 28 points tonight for Byron Wesley. Well, another missed attempt now here for NS Matrix Diaz. Have the fumes finally cooled down? Is it too much to ask for another comeback? Remember, the challenge only gets tougher on Thursday, and now they come up with a steal. Well, he yelling to you wide open. That's way off the mark, but they get an offensive board. Murray bumps, and now he'll go to the charity stripe. 6:31 to go, down by 16.
Shooting foul number 7, Isaiah. For personal foul, second team foul. Substitution.
Of course, this group is going to have some exciting bigs. We saw Julian Boyd yesterday, had a game of games for Italian Pilots. And I've already mentioned KJ McDaniels for Pelita Jaya, the team from Indonesia. but you've also got to put James Dickey into the conversation. Some exciting talent to watch here in Group A. But currently now for Ennis Matrix did. First free throw miss now for John Wesley Murray. Well, he's been great tonight, 17 points. But Coach Felton Seeley, can he get his players to make a comeback? He cut it down yet again. 15-point deficit. 6:30 to go here in the fourth. Well, they got 2 fouls to give. They'll try to go for the no-look dime. In the end, turns it over. Ong Wei Yong comes up with it. Goes in, finish. Oh, no, he doesn't finish. But a foul in the end is going to be committed. And that's going to be the third team foul against Ennis Matrix Deer.
Foul by Ennis Matrix Deer, number 35, Matthew Chin. Third personal foul, second team.
Of course, some of the exciting guards that we have here in this group as well. We saw with Chun Xiang Lu from Chinese Taipei. Well, get ready for Andakara Prastawa on Thursday. He'll be taking three-pointers from the BCL logo. This Group A is going to be exciting here in BCL Asia East. I could talk for days about the talent we have. Well, that's the final team foul. So, well, that's... Because corrections, that's the third team foul. Because that one's on Hung Yi Tong. So Matrix do have one to give. And they want to use this one wisely, considering they're trailing by 15. Scott penetrates. Kicks out. Well, he can go up to 21 points and makes this and hits his fourth three-pointer of the game. Zugir, baby. Ahmad Bayaskalat is making it rain. Well, 4 for 7. Now John Wesley Murray, he'll put up a deep one. That's his third one. Well, is there enough time for Ennis Matrix Deer? Can they make the comeback? Well, may have got away with an offensive foul there, but once he go for an ISO. Rebound secured by Obasa. Every possession must be clinical here at the moment now for Ennis Matrix Deer. Murray's got space. Puts up another three. This one's up, and now it could be time. I'll ask the question. Jidian La, what time is it? Is it John Wesley Murray time? Well, that's the final foul to give away. And I'm not sure that was a wise one to give. Because still trailing by double digits. There's got to be parts where you're going to have to take gambles, and was that a wise decision? So any more fouls, and Bishrelt Meta will go to the free throw line. What's a nice little in and out move. Wesley penetrates. Finds Scott, goes in. Can't finish. Good defense. Well, Lecce came over and tried to cut it down to 10. Lecce goes in. And again, another good no call. But it's going to remain baseline possession to the Ennis Matrix Deers. Well, let me tell you, whenever he's coaching, he has the same demeanor. That is simply, it's all business. Whether they're down by 20, 30, he'll coach his team right to the end. Lecce finds Murray. Murray goes for a third three. Consecutive, can't get it. Rebound secured by Lecce. Murray goes up, gets rejected. And I think Ahmad Bayaskala may have just had a few words with John Wesley Murray, and I don't think Murray appreciated that. Still a baseline ball, 10 here on the shot clock. 12-point lead to Bishrelt Metal. Well, they go in the paint, and now they cut it down to 10. Try to finish, can't go for it. And here's the chance where Ennis Matrix Deers can cut it down. to potentially single digits. Well, Murray still has it. Now penetrates, goes in, simply unstoppable. Well, Wada Pangyo, John Wesley Murray, Tadao Lancho, Hunhao, Jayo is the comeback on yet again. Well, Malaysian basketball fans, Jidian La, it is simply Murray time. 8 points out of the last 10 here for Ennis Matrix did. And he cuts it down to an 8-point deficit. Game on here at the Maba Stadium in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. BCL Asia East, game day 2. And if you're watching this game live on FIBA's official YouTube platform, please hit that like button, subscribe to FIBA on YouTube, and make sure you follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook.
Hey, take longer on offense. More time on offense. More time. Let's go.
Well, he's been terrific tonight. Byron Wesley, of course, had that experience of playing in BCL Europe. Because he played for Kataja in Finland in the first ever year of the Basketball Champions League. That was in 2016. Well, John Wesley Murray now, I mean, he has the experience of playing in BCL Asia. But it's going to be a tough road, no doubt about it. 8-point ball game. John Wesley Murray, 26 points. Only 30% from the perimeter tonight, converting 4 out of 12. But it's when you make them is what counts. Now we're on the 10 on the shot clock. Wesley, no fouls for the Matrix to give away. Well, Scott's got a mismatch. Goes to the pump fake. I think that's a 24-second violation. Yeah, good defense. The Ennis Matrix is. It's getting a little bit heated here at the moment. Because Devin Scott, joint second top scorer in this game, along with Amada Bayaskalan for the Bishrelt medal. And he is insinuating he got fouled. Well, it's a tough one for sure, no doubt about it, but you got to play through it. At this stage, you're about to make history today, but you've got to hold on to this lead. Let's have a look at the replay. That's good defense. Marquez Lecha. That is good defense. Well, Jayo Matrix, that's what the fans are saying here at the moment. Nice penetration, and he misses. Can't get it, and that would have made it a 6-point ball game. And in the end, the unfortunate situation of Ong Wei Young committing the foul, so 2 free throws coming up for Bishrelt medal. Well, what should have been a 6-point deficit now potentially is going to be a 10-point lead here. It's Batkuyaga Zaya now going to the free throw line. Well, the pressure just getting to him. Only 3 points this evening, and that was from the 1 3-pointer he made. What's impressive here about Bishrelt medal, they've only missed 3 free throws tonight. They're 11 for 14. Can make this a 9-point ball game if he converts this one. No problem. Traveling fans to Mongolia, loving what they're seeing right now. Could history be made? The first time ever a Mongolian basketball team winning away in a FIBA continental competition. Oh, another 3 goes flying, can't get it. They come up with a steal, but they turn it right back over. And another foul committed. So another trip to the free throw line here for Bishrelt medal. It's that man again. Well, he's got to hold his nerve. No problem this time. Now 13 for 16 for the free throw line this evening. Collective lead for Bishrelt Metal. Home crowd trying to distract him, trying to put him off, but here's where the hours of practice as a professional come into play. Now 10-point lead. And they go for another deep three. It's up, and again, beautifully iced away. And Hung Yi Tong, who made that big three-pointer in OT yesterday, to send it into double OT. Now giving his team a bit of life. Back to an 8-point deficit. Wesley penetrates. Down low, finds Scott, goes in. Too big, too strong. Simply Mr. Double-double. Devin Scott is just too good. And that's the patience you need if you want to hold on to the lead. Well, nice take by Lecce, but he's unable to finish. Good defense by Devin Scott. Bishrelt Metal currently on Operation Hold On. The foul's going to be called against John Wesley Murray. And this was the problem I mentioned midway through the fourth quarter, why you don't want to get into the penalty too, or you don't want to let the other team get into the penalty too early. Because here's where NS Matrix Deers need to take those gambles defensively. This is where you want to pick up your second, your third team foul. Well, Scott now at the free throw line, 23 points this evening. He's been terrific. 4 assists. I mean, he's 6 assists away from a triple-double. He's only missed 1 free throw tonight. Second one, no good. 11-point lead. 2 minutes left. Murray has a three. Three is up, and good. John Wesley Murray. Back to an 8-point ball game. Another three-pointer for NS Matrix Deers. They need to stop defensively. Murray goes in again. Cool, calm, and composed. And a timeout's going to be called. Well, when you make a big three like that, you give yourself a bit of belief. Well, I don't think a timeout has been called. Well, here's the big three by John Wesley Murray. You never go under the screen. If you do, you got to switch. Because this man's range is limitless. But you've got to credit the play from Byron Wesley. I mean, he's been tough tonight. John Wesley Murray keeps this one alive. Can't finish. The follow-up, but Obasa misses from point-blank range. Foul has been committed, a hot foul. I think Bishrelt Metal are asking the question, but Akuyaga Zaya will go to the free throw line yet again. 1:27 to go. There's nothing in that. That's a normal foul in my mind. Because Tang Junkai, I mean, there's no ill intent there whatsoever. I think the improvement from yesterday for the NS Matrix is 42 points in the paint, but, you know, they are most likely going to lose this game. I think the disappointing for them has been the defense on the perimeter shooting. They paid way too much respect to Bishrelt Metal. Nice play down low. Finds Obasa, finishes, cuts it back down to 9 points. And that's a much better play. Make that 44 points in the paint. Collectively for the NS Matrix there. I think it's one thing we've learned today. Byron Wesley is definitely a talent. 30 points. 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Nearly triple-double numbers tonight for Byron Wesley. And I think a timeout's going to be called potentially. These two teams will talk it over. Well, basketball fans, if you are watching this game live on FIBA's official YouTube platform, please hit the like button. Subscribe to FIBA on YouTube. and follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Well, a lot of defensive pressure will be coming down here from NS Matrix Diaz, but they got no fouls to give. And this is a double team. Bishrelt Metal patiently break down the full court press. And they don't need to waste any time here whatsoever. Just be patient on every offense. Try to get fouled, get to the free throw line. Another three goes flying. The rebound secured. NS Matrix Diaz have got to go quickly. Remember, points difference do matter here in the BCL Asia East. There's a shot counted, going to the free throw line as Wang Yi-ho he's got to convert this one. Well, that's the one thing about NS Matrix is we might have to give them the Ginebra title from the PBA. Never say die. Well, 46.1. Very best they can cut this down here to a 6-point ball game, potentially a 3-possession game. And he does just that, but now they've got to put the full court pressure on. Got to go for a double team. Then make them, force a very tough pass. But what you don't want to do now is you don't want to foul. Still time. We got a double now. Well, they don't go over. Now they commit the foul, so Byron Wesley will go to the free throw line. Well, the free throw missed. Maybe, just maybe. Well, again, they missed both free throws. Wesley comes up, throws it down. Zugir, baby. That might just be the nail in the coffin. And just when the NS Matrix is, John Wesley Murray fires another three. Not going to go. Rebound number 9. And they'll finish it one more time. And good night to all the fans watching back in Mongolia. Mongolian basketball is about to make history. Well, another foul has been committed. Well, that was the pressure, and that was a turnover. And in the end, Zugir, Bayater, goodbye. Mongolian basketball putting its name on the international basketball map at the moment. Bishrelt Metal making history here tonight. And they've been led by that superstar, Byron Wesley, who right now, 9 rebounds, 1 rebound away from a double-double, and 2 assists away from a potential triple-double. Now has 34 points. Indeed. Bishrelt medal, they're going to do it. They're going to make history. They become the first ever Mongolian professional basketball team to win an away game in a FIBA Club Continental matchup. A big congratulations to Coach Evangelos Tepelis. But now, unfortunately, here for Coach Felton Seeley and the NS Matrix Deers, they fall to 0-2 here in Group A of the BCL Asia East. Well, they'll have another game, but it won't be tomorrow. It'll be in 2 days' time as the defending champions of the Indonesian Basketball League, Pelita Jaya, Semangat PJ, will be in town, and they'll be looking to make waves. But right now, to all of our fans in Mongolia, well, Bayaklar, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy this moment. Mongolian basketball has made history today. Well, you got to give credit to that man. John Wesley Murray, still a terrific performance. And this is what you got to love about FIBA International Basketball, especially here in the BCL. The journey from Mongolia all the way to the southeast here in Asia, especially a beautiful city like Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, it's such a long journey. But this is what it means to them. This is what it means to the development of Mongolian basketball. And what a platform to be on than here in the BCL Asia East. Well, NS Matrix Deers, the comeback was too little too late. 10 3-pointers made by Bishrelt medal. That was enough to just seal the deal for them. Along with just having less free throws and slightly more field goals from inside the rainbow. Well, the home team did win the rebound count, but 23 assists going in favor of Bishrelt medal. An unbelievable performance. But it's no doubt the player of the game indeed has to go to Byron Wesley. He was simply incredible tonight. Byron Wesley, 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Nearly a triple-double. What a way to open your first game here in the BCL Asia East in 2025. Well, now we'll meet with him.
Interview here. Talk to me a little bit about your basketball journey so far that's led you to Bishrelt medal.
Man, like Scott said, I've been all over, man. Very experienced, you know. It just felt good to be out here with my guys. My team, we played great today. We had a lot of travel, you know. Come on, bro. We had a lot of travel, you know, so it was hard for us. But I'm just really proud of these guys, man.
That's great. And let's go back to the game a little bit. You guys survived the scare in that fourth quarter. NS Matrix, you know, making a name for themselves as sort of like a comeback king in the BCL Asia. But tell me what happened in that fourth quarter, how you guys put the game to bed.
Man, we watched the game last night, so we knew they were a fourth quarter team. We saw how they fought back, and with their home crowd, you know, we knew it was going to be easy. So we just wanted to stick with the game plan. We knew they were going to make their run. We just wanted to stay poised, stay solid, and finish the game, man. And I'm really proud of these guys.
And finally, a very impressive individual effort from yourself. 34 points, as well as 8 rebounds and 7 assists. It's not your career high, but it's definitely your career high in BCL Asia.
Yeah, man, I work really hard on my game, you know, so I put in a lot of time. This is just when I come out here and show the work I put in. And credit to my teammates for trusting me, my coach for putting the ball in my hands, you know, and for me, it's not about what I do, it's about our team effort, and as long as we get the win, I'm happy.
Okay, it's definitely a tough loss for Malaysia's NS Matrix, but congratulations, Byron, for a great game.
For members of the media, we have a post-game press conference at VIP Room 1 shortly. Thank you.
Well, fans, we would like to say thank you for joining us here on FIBA's live official YouTube platform. Remember, one more game to come in this window, and that will be on Thursday evening as the defending champions of the Indonesian Basketball League will be in town.
To the post-game press conference of the Basketball Champions League Asia East game between NS Matrix Deers from Malaysia and Bishrelt Metal from Mongolia. The game ended with a final score of 98 by Bishrelt Metal and 86 NS Matrix Deers. A first victory for Bishrelt Metal in this competition. We have with us the head coach from Bishrelt Metal, Evangelos Sepelis, and the player of the game, Byron Wesley. This press conference will be conducted in English first, and we will open the floor for questions in any other language later. So we would like to start the press conference with an opening statement from the head coach. Coach, what are your thoughts on the game?
I'm very happy for the result. I'm very proud for my players. For us, the first game outside of the country. The most important is to stay all together, and we take this win.
Thank you, Coach. Now we'd like a statement from Byron.
Yeah, like Coach said, I'm just really proud of my guys. The travel wasn't easy here. We're in the middle of playoffs right now, so we could have had a lot of excuses, but we came out and we played really hard till the end. Coach did a great job with the game plan, and we just played as a team. You know, it was a real team effort, and I'm just really proud of my team.
Right, thank you, Byron. Now we'll open the floor to the floor for questions in English.
Okay, here's questions to Coach first. So congratulations for the first win. So this marks the first time that a Mongolian ball club has won an away game in a FIBA club competition. What does this mean, not just for Bishrelt Metal, but for Mongolian basketball too?
I think this is the picture for Mongolia Championship. Now the teams every year, I think, one step up. For this season, we try to play real basket, and we have these results.
So there's another question for Byron. So you basically close it out to shut the door on NS Matrix Deers. So how important was it for you and the team to ace a test as hard as tonight and win your first game in the BCL Asia?
It was very important. You know, we wanted to start BCL on the right path. Me and Scott, we have experience playing in BCL before, so we felt comfortable out there. And down the stretch, you know, we wanted to let our experience show. But it was a team effort, you know. We had a lot of big contributions from a lot of Mongolian guys. So just credit to my teammates. We played like a team. Everybody played unselfish, and this win is not just for our team, but for the whole country of Mongolia.
Thanks. Right, thank you. Do we have any other questions in English?
Okay, hello. I'm Sports from Mongolia. What a great game. First question for Coach. What's opponent's team difficulties first, and how you plan about opponent's team's 3-point?
We know that we play with one very aggressive team. They use a lot of threes, and for this reason we try to make a practice about this. And I think today we play great for this, because every time we try to find what the opponents do.
Thank you. What a great performance, Wesley.
Thank you.
You're playing today almost four quarter. How you playing your physical and stamina?
Well, I told Coach before this game, that I'm comfortable playing 40 minutes, and he told me, like, don't worry about that. But I guess I played 40 minutes, you know. So for me, I work really hard on my body and on my stamina and strength during the summer. So by the time the season comes, I'm in pretty good shape, you know. And so tonight was just an opportunity to let the work that I put in on my body and on myself show. And I'm just glad I could be there for my team when they needed me.
Okay. What's your plan in Mongolian League and BCL? What's your next plan, Mongolian League and BCL?
Well, we have a big playoff series coming up on Thursday, you know, so we don't have too much time to rest. We got a big matchup against the Apes back home, so you know, just staying focused, continuing to trust my team and trust my coach, you know, and staying together as a family.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
I want to give any opportunity if you want to ask any question in Mongolian. No? All right. Okay, thank you. This concludes the first part of our post-game press conference. Yeah, thank you, Coach. Thank you, Byron. Congratulations.
John Murray.
Welcome everyone to the second part of the post-game press conference of the BCL Asia East game between NS Matrix Deers and Bishrelt Metal. The game ended with a score in favor of Bishrelt Metal, 98-86. So we have with us the head coach of NS Matrix Deers, Felton Seeley, and their best player, John Murray. Before we start the press conference, we'd like to get an opening statement from Coach and John. Coach?
Well, nobody likes to lose. But we played against a very good basketball team today. They were prepared, well coached. We gave our best effort, but unfortunately it wasn't good enough. And one of my best players went down, and we had to mix and match today. But overall, our effort was there, but very disappointed because we thought we had a chance to win this game today, and we came up short. But at the end of the day, we got to get prepared for the next game. Bethlehem Jaya, which is a very strong team. They topped our group last year. They topped the group last year. But we're going to come out fighting. I mean, we got into this saying that we're just going to take one game at a time, and now we got the third game at home, and we're going to do our best to try to get a win.
Thank you, Coach. John?
So just to piggyback on what Coach was saying, I definitely feel like we would have had a different circumstance with May. He's definitely one of our best defensive players, and just one of our best players all around. But no excuses. We definitely got to come back, make sure we regroup, and then get ready for our next game on Thursday.
All right, now we want to open the floor to for questions in English.
Right here. So first question to Coach Felton. So your team play barely 24 hours yet, still put up a fight against Bishrelt Metal. How much do you appreciate this kind of effort from them?
I'm very pleased with the effort. We just got to make better basketball decisions. I mean, this group of guys, they practice with effort every day because that's what I demand. They have control over it. And so when we come into the game, I mean, we're playing not just for Matrix or Malaysia. We're playing for the people of Malaysia to show that we play basketball. 38 million or 39 million people. So they understand what's at stake. And I'm proud of them because of the effort.
Thanks, Coach. So another question for John. So with the kind of effort your team has been showing tonight, so do you see any sort of progress from them 2 games into the tournament?
Definitely. It's definitely progress day by day. And like Coach said, we got together a few weeks. These other teams have been playing together for the entire league. I have chemistry, and we're trying to build that in 2 or 3 weeks. So I definitely see, I definitely see progress, not just only in myself but our team. And I think we're making that, day by day, game by game. It's just got to be faster. Excuse me. It's got to be faster because we got Thursday, and then we turn back around in April and we play again and travel. So it's definitely something that we've got to capitalize on quicker to make success and make bigger strides.
Yep. Thanks, John.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, Coach. My question is, with the qualification now is hanging on the balance after back-to-back loss, how do you keep the players or the team mentally focused on the future games?
Good question. It's real simple. We're playing for a bigger prize. We got together with the goal to be prepared preparing ourselves for the Southeast Asian Games, okay? We went into this understanding that it was going to be an uphill battle. We're the underdogs in every game. And saying all of that, these guys are motivated. They haven't won a medal in 18 years in the SEA Games, so they know what's at stake. I mean, I don't have to motivate them. I wouldn't have selected them if they weren't motivated to win. But winning is a process. And I believe we're taking the right steps by having these games and discovering ourselves. And our professional players have contributed to that. But overall, I'm pleased with the effort, and I just think that they're motivated enough to come back, bounce back, and give their all in that next game, the last game here.
Thank you, Coach. And question for John. So I know you said it before, no excuse, because last night you guys played double overtime with Pilots, right? But do you think fatigue played a part in the loss?
I wouldn't say fatigue played a part. I would definitely look at our chemistry. Not going to say fatigue. Definitely chemistry. A couple plays that we made. I know we had a late turnover. We were down 2 possessions. If we come down and score, maybe hit a 2 or 3. Now it's a 1-possession game. Maybe we get a steal, something like that. But chemistry is definitely, I feel like, something that we lack. Just making an extra pass, or a guy seeing the back door, or even defensively, a guy communicating, talking, telling somebody to go, and then we drop. But I definitely think that communication is our biggest weakness right now. Just talking and making sure that everybody is on the same page.
Thank you. We want to give any opportunity if anybody want to ask any questions in any other language.
Maybe the last question for Coach.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So the last game on Thursday against the Pelita Jaya, it becomes a must-win game for us because we don't want to go 0-3 at home. So what's your assessment on the game?
Overall, they're the best team on paper. But that's on paper. We put 5 people on the floor. We're going to go out and compete and do our best to play good basketball. The winning will take care of itself if we can play good basketball on both the offensive and defensive end. They're a well-coached basketball team. I think these 2 games have given us a chance to understand each other, get more familiar with each other. And as John was mentioning, our chemistry is a little off. But I think by the time this 3rd game come around, the chemistry will be much better. But again, it's an uphill battle. On paper, they're the favorite. We're the underdogs. We have nothing to lose. We just go play basketball. And good things happen when you just go play basketball. No pressure on us.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you. No further questions? All right, thank you, everyone. This concludes the post-game press conference. Thank you, everyone.
Two.